In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, on January 12, 2024, adequate notice of this meeting was provided as required by law. Additionally, this meeting is being digitally recorded and live streamed on the Somerset County website. For public access, please email your questions to countyboardmeeting@co.somerset.nj.us. The public may participate in this meeting by calling 908-231-7075. Director Robinson?
This agenda and the items on it are for discussion and will be considered at the next meeting, which is scheduled for May 14th. No action will be taken at this meeting unless the measure and its adoption are needed in a manner necessary to continue county business. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Here.
Commissioner Singletary?
Here.
Commissioner Morano? Deputy Director Suey?
Here.
Director Robinson?
Here. I'm going to pass the baton to do the reports to Deputy Director, and I'll go last. Just need to get my thoughts together.
Thank you, Director Robinson. And we have all had a very busy few weeks here. I guess starting off, we had the Spirit Awards with the YMCA and the Franklin Chamber of Commerce. So we've had quite a bit with our nonprofit partners, and it was a fantastic turnout. This was the first year that the Chamber over in Franklin Township did a gala, and they filled up their room, and we're hoping for an even bigger audience for next year. So good traditions starting. Over at Lord Sterling Stables, we had a ribbon cutting and a groundbreaking. So for our new barns that we will be putting in there, so we had plenty of golden shovels and hard hats, and Commissioner Singletary was, kind enough to come out on a nice morning. But it's really an incredible property. If you haven't been there before, it is one of our gems here, and of course we wanted to highlight it on Earth Day, because when you look around, this is exactly why we try to preserve the land in Somerset County and do different community-oriented projects. We had a trail connection for the ribbon cutting side, and now you're able to, go for a run or walk, and they have miniature horses, which I thought was pretty cool. And you can actually take them for a walk and spend a day at the park with a miniature horse, almost like a dog. So we're hoping that attracts some more people to make it an even more well-known place for people to come visit. And let's see here. We had the Somerset County Business Partnership meeting over at Johnson & Johnson, one of our phenomenal partners here in Somerset County. We do like to support our small businesses, but thanks to some of the anchors like Johnson & Johnson that have been here for so long, they continue to give back to the community and to be great sponsors to some of our local events. They have an incredible space and have welcomed us back for another Somerset County Business Partnership meeting. And we had a few reports, and we'll have one later on today with the budget. So we're very proud of that, and I will defer to some of my colleagues to be able to go into further detail so I don't spoil anything. That concludes my report.
So a few things. Okay, so it's on. Can you hear me now? How's everybody doing? So on behalf of Somerset County Commissioners, I'd like to share that we've selected the Director of Human Services has been chosen, and Zach Berliner has been named as the next Human Services Director starting upon the retirement of Mike Frost. Now, I want to talk about Mike Frost for a moment. He's the man who needs no introduction in the human services field. He's certainly been with the county for a very long time, 40 years plus. When I first took this position, I met with Mike. We talked extensively about the Human Services Department, and I acknowledged to him that I was unaware, even at the time, the amount of programs that fall within the Human Services Department and the great work that Mike has done throughout his entire tenure here at Somerset County. So we're forever grateful for all your contributions, Mike, in that. And I want to also say that, the selection of your replacement was certainly challenging because you have very big shoes to fill, but I know also you've mentored your staff greatly. And I'm sure that the department heads, the managers will all continue to support and look forward to participating when you're playing your next gig somewhere with your new guitar. I look forward to being there and helping support you on that. But we're grateful that everyone, including Mike, has done, worked closely with Zach to transition the leadership that Zach will now be taking in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Zach is currently the planning administrator in the Division of Operations and Planning within the Human Services Department. And the commissioners and I are all pleased that we have an opportunity to promote from within the organization itself. So I want to say a little bit about Zach. Zach is bilingual in both English and Spanish. He's a licensed social worker. He's had both positions in both government and also the nonprofit organization, so he has experience in both. We did an extensive interview process, and there was an excellent group of final candidates that were selected. Both the director, myself, and the administrator. We interviewed many of the candidates, and the competencies that Zach brings to this position to lead the department really provide a real clear vision for the Human Services Department. And we're looking forward to work with him, and certainly I look forward as the liaison to the Human Services Department to work with Zach directly as he moves forward in this transition. But again, I want to thank you, Mike, for all your time here at the county, and look forward to working with you, Zach. And so I want to give a round of applause both for Mike and Zach. But I'll get to the rest of my report, which is certainly just as exciting, I'm sure. So look forward to everybody to come out and attend the community resource event. It's a free household goods and services access information program that will provide a variety of support services, including mental health, substance use, programs for youth and seniors, and much more. The event will take place on Friday, May 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m., and on Saturday, May 4th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church at 300 Union Avenue in Somerville. And there are approximately 1,700 residents who live below the poverty level in Somerset County, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. And this community resource event is aimed at helping not only this population, but everyone who might need services. So please come on out to this event. Also, as we recognize Arbor Day, the Somerset County Park Commission will be hosting 2 native tree giveaways events both on Friday, this coming Friday, April 26th at 10:30 to 1:30 at the Environmental Education Center in Basking Ridge, and also Saturday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Colonial Park Arboretum in Franklin Township. Trees will be given away free of charge on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. The commission will allocate 1 free tree per household, and there's any number of species you can select from, all native species to New Jersey. Similarly, in the spirit of Earth Day, you can come out and purchase for your yard at the Leonard J. Buck Garden Plant Sale, where there'll be a variety of spectacular plants available for sale. This will take place on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 28th from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Rock Garden located at 11 Layton Road in Far Hills at the Buck Gardens. Visitors will love the selection of perennials, ferns, and woody plants, and there'll be a free guided tour of the magnificent natural rock garden each day at 1 p.m. So come on out, get your free trees at the EEC, and then run over and buy some other plants at the Buck Gardens. So that's a full-day event. And then just wanted to mention that I attended the Climate Reality Leadership Training course last weekend in New York City. This was the 55th training session led by Vice President Al Gore. He has held them all over the world. And this event on last Saturday, or actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we had 3,000 people attend this training at the Javits Center in New York City. And it was really an amazing host of speakers that talked all about climate change. I learned a great deal about regenerative agricultural practices, which I'm very interested in. Also, it was very clear that the bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act, two of the most significant pieces of federal legislation signed by President Biden, provide direct support for climate change actions. Vice President Al Gore provided a 2-hour lecture on the current state of the climate and where we are headed. There were some doomsday discussions, certainly polar ice caps that are melting at incredible rates, disease, insect invasions, and more frequent and catastrophic storms, droughts, and forest fires. But it ended with some optimism, I'll say. For example, developing countries in Africa who want access to energy demands are finding that solar advancements are allowing them to essentially leap over the problems associated with carbon-based fuels and can actually provide electricity through solar programs. But the message was clear that the scientists agree that climate change is real, things are getting real bad, but there is hope. And we just need to have the will to think globally and act locally. So I'm saying instead of Earth Day, we need to be focused on our Earth Decade. The Climate Change Project has 4 principles, which are very similar to the county's climate change policy that we adopted a few years ago. And these are to reduce and then eliminate emissions from fossil fuels, to call out greenwashing, to finance a just transition, and ultimately to strengthen international cooperation. So these are really the tenets of not only the Climate Change Project, but mirror the current Somerset County policy on climate change. And I thought it was very important that, not only bring this here, but looking forward to working closely with all the programs that we know we can avail ourselves, both at the federal and state level, to help advance the fight against climate change. That's end of my report, Director. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's see, we have some job fair news. Tomorrow, there is a free job fair in Franklin Township at the Imperia, 174 Easton Avenue. Join our Greater Raritan Workforce Development Board and many leading employers. This is sponsored by Assemblyman Joe Danielson, and we'll have employers from Johnson & Johnson, NJM Insurance, RWJ Barnabas Health, Wegmans, and many more. So this will be at the Imperial from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm sorry, did I say? My apologies, and I was looking right at 10. 10 to 2. Thank you, Paul.
Maybe you're a little early.
Yeah. All right. And then also, we're getting ready for the Greater Raritan 2024 Job Fair. It's going to be held on May 20th at the Hindu Temple and Cultural Center, Route 206, 202, 206 in Bridgewater. We are currently taking applications for employers. So employers have the deadline. I'm just screwing this up today. Okay, so the job fair will be on June 4th. The deadline for employers to sign up is May 20th. So thank you.
Nice.
I'm glad I got that right. That was. And this morning, let's see, I stopped by Warren Township for Warren History Day project. I went to the Kirch Ford Terrell House. This is an historic farmhouse that was built between 1766 and 1774. They had 7th graders giving tours of these homes to 4th graders, I believe. So I went there and said hello, and it was a nice event they had. And then I also just wanted to mention something. I wanted to commend the boroughs of North Plainfield and Watchung. They entered into a shared services agreement where they acquired a new ladder fire truck with a shared services opportunity grant from the Department of Community Affairs. It's their Local Efficiency Achievement Program. I guess that spells LEAP. I always have these nice little acronyms for these things. So this was a LEAP program, and of the 24 grants that were awarded, this one was the largest amount, 400,000 grant offsetting the cost of 1.2 million. So this is going to be a joint purchase and agreement between North Plainfield and Watchung. So I thought that was a nice example of towns working together to enhance the public safety of their residents. So, thank you.
Thank you. There will be a resource clinic in Montgomery Township on May 29th, and following with a town hall. This is New Jersey State Health Services, Veterans Programs, Mental Health Support, Wellness and Nutrition, Healthcare Resources, in an effort to serve our veterans, our seniors, and the constituents here in Somerset County. Again, that's May 29th. Resource clinic followed by a town hall in Montgomery Township, hosted by Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman and the mayor of Montgomery, Mayor Nina Singh. Also, happy to announce that Williams Transco has rescinded their, or stopped their project to move forward for Nessie, the gas compressor station in Franklin Township. And we did receive a letter from Franklin and those that are part of the fracking group to say thank you for our continued support, and that Nessie dropped their project. So this is government working together, making sure that we're protecting the interests of not only our county, but our residents as well. Summer internship. Did you announce on that? I know you gave some dates. Did you announce the summer internship?
Last time. It's always good to do it again.
Okay, so the summer internship, ages 16 to 24, 20 hours a week, May 20th through October 14th. The employer application deadline, is it still? It's gone. Today was the last day. Today is the 23rd. And the employee application deadline is May 3rd. So any candidates for employment in the ages of 16 to 24, your application deadline is May 3rd. And that's all I have to report at this time. Do you have anything, Ms. Moore? Okay, thank you. We move right along to our communications. Monmouth County Board of County Commissioners received resolution number, item number 10, establishing logo and catchphrase for the America 250 Monmouth, New Jersey Committee, and changing the names of the committee to Monmouth NJ 250 Committee. Monmouth County Board of County Commissioners, copy of resolution item number 12 to execute a New Jersey Department of Community Affairs application for a local efficiency achievement program, LEAP grant. And the county clerk, Steve Peter, noticed the fees collected for March 2024 in the amount of $1,779,420.56. Engineering.
Resolution 900 is an approval to accept additional grant funds in the amount of $36,135.64 from the NJDOT for replacement of County Bridge D 1302, Pottersville Road over Peapack Brook in Peapack and Gladstone.
Good evening. Resolution 24901, authorization to enter into a right of entry agreement with Santec Consulting Services, Inc. for investigations related to the Headgates Dam removal. Resolution 24902, authorization to enter into a management and use agreement with Somerset County Historical Society for a portion of land owned by the County of Somerset, known as Block 303, Lot 8, in the Township of Bridgewater. Resolution 24903, authorizing release of a performance bond 837080306 to 74 Holdings LLC as principal and Liberty Mutual Insurance Company as surety for certain land improvements at Block 57, Lot 22 along Burnt Mills Road, CR 620, for $22,583.
Good afternoon. Resolution 24904, amending resolutions numbers 231405, 231809, and 24334 for the New Jersey Department of Children and Families for the FY 2024 Formula-Based Child Advocacy Development Grant for the grant period of July 1, 23 through June 30th, 24, to accept an increased award grant for a total of up to $185,000. Thank you.
Resolution 24905, authorizing the Somerset County Department of Health to apply and accept funding from the New Jersey Department of Health up to $27,760 to develop and strengthen the emergency response capabilities of the Medical Reserve Corps for the grant period June 1st, 2024 to May 31st, 2025. 24906, authorizing the Somerset County Department of Health to apply and accept funding up to $100,000 from the New Jersey Department of Health to expand and integrate the overdose fatality review teams for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. 24907, authorizing the Somerset County Department of Health to apply and accept funding from the New Jersey Department of Health for local core capacity for public health emergency preparedness, our LINKS grant program, up to $450,000 for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025.
This is for the county clerk, authorizing an award of contract to election systems and software out of Omaha, Nebraska, under the local public contracts law. Those goods and services necessary or required to prepare and conduct an election for 2024 primary day on-site support, total not to exceed $1,975. Continuing on, authorizing an award of contract to SOE Software Corporation out of Tampa, Florida, under the local public contracts laws, which allows goods and services necessary or required to prepare and conduct an election for the 2024 ENR Annual Assurance and Maintenance. It's a second year of a 3-year contract, total not to exceed $7,000.
24910 is authorizing award of professional service contract to the Reynolds Group of Raritan, New Jersey, for a Green Acres survey of 2134 Gilbride Road, Block 801, Lot 22 in Bridgewater Township, total not to exceed $8,800. 24911 is authorizing award of a professional service contract to Dewberry Engineers out of Fairfax, Virginia, for the replacement of the Green Knoll Golf Course irrigation system in Bridgewater Township, New Jersey, total not to exceed $149,680. 24-912 is authorizing change order number 3 for Green Construction, Inc. of South River, New Jersey, for the safety improvements at Main Street, Manville. Contract number 21005, an increase of $373,886.42 from the as-bid contract amount of $6,997,457, the new contract amount of $7,571,783.02. That includes the change order 1 for $200,000, $439.60. Total not to exceed $373,886.42.
$24,913 is authorizing award of contract for CY-COM 005920 for auctioneer services, internet web-based auction services to sell county surplus property, to liquidity services operation, doing business as Gov Deals, utilizing the final optional 1-year extension.
Resolution 24914 for Richard Hall authorizes the award of contract to Freedom Yoga of Raritan, New Jersey for yoga services utilizing a 2nd-year option to extend the contract, total not to exceed $4,000. Resolution 24915, also for Richard Hall, authorizes the award of a contract to Spring Rains of Life for equine-assisted therapy utilizing a 2nd-year option to extend that contract. Total not to exceed $13,860. 24916 for the Office of Youth Services authorizes the award of contract to Middle Earth for $5,940 for purchasing probation enhancements and $2,500 for the purpose of purchasing transportation through innovation funds for the period January 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2024, total not to exceed $8,440. And 24917, also for Youth Services, authorizes the award of contract to Middle Earth for the Promises Program for the period January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, total not to exceed $105,560.
Resolution 24918, authorizing the award of contract CC 007023, Occupational Medicine and Psychological Services, second year of a 2-year contract to Princeton Healthcare System, Plainsboro, New Jersey, Robert Wood Johnson Medical Group, Concentra in Addison, Texas, Institute Forensic Psychology, Oakland, New Jersey, as per the schedule. Certification is not required at this time.
I would like to thank the clerk for making my font bigger for me so I can read it without holding it out here. 24-919 is authorizing award of contract to Industrial Cooling Corporation. It's for maintenance and repair of water-cooled and air-cooled chillers. First year of a 3-year contract, total not to exceed $75,000. 24-920 is authorizing award of contract to Millennium Mechanical. It's for maintenance and repairs of our HVAC systems and boilers. First year of a 3-year contract, total not to exceed $89,000.
Resolution 24921, these are approval to pay confirming orders to Cleary Jacoby Alfieri Jacobs out of Matawan, Shane Schaefer out of Bernardsville, Chasen Lamparello Mallon and Capuzzo out of Secaucus, our Language Line Services out of Dallas, Texas, and Gourmet Catering Events out of South Bound Brook, total not to exceed $126,881.82. This is authorizing the certification of funds for previously awarded contracts to Cleary Jacoby Alfieri for professional legal services for the County of Somerset on an as-needed basis for the rest of the calendar year 2024, not to exceed $150,000.
24923 is approval to pay conferring order to ARC Document Solutions from St. Louis, Missouri, for reproduction and plotting supplies, total not to exceed $144. Resolution 24-924 is approval to pay confirming order to IH Engineers out of Princeton, New Jersey, for inspection of county pedestrian bridges at various locations, total not to exceed $3,500.
Resolution 24925 is the approval to pay a confirming order to PKF O'Connor Davies, Cranford, New Jersey, for verification services, total not to exceed $5,000. 24926 is the payment of claims and ratification of the same. 24927 is the approval to pay confirming order to Navient, Inc. of Verona, Wisconsin for annual maintenance agreement for software and hardware support for OnBase. Renewal covers the period of March 22nd, 2024 to March 21st, 2025. Total not to exceed $4,686. 24928 is the approval to pay a confirming order to Micrographics Tech Services, South Plainfield, New Jersey, for annual maintenance renewal contract for Minolta reader and printer from January 1st to December 31st, 2024. Total not to exceed $525. 24929 is the approval to pay a confirming order to Vital Records Holdings, Birmingham, Alabama, for record storage and other related services. These are invoices for November and December of 2023. Total not to exceed $6,087.39. And 24930 is the approval to pay a confirming order to Vital Records Holdings, Birmingham, Alabama, for record storage and other related services. These invoices are from January and February of '24. Total not to exceed $6,528.77.
Resolution 24931 for the Office on Aging and Disability Services, approval to pay a confirming order for Saker ShopRights, Inc. for the purchase of Hershey eggs for the Senior Center. There's a joke there somewhere, but not to exceed $23.28. 24932, also for Aging and Disability, authorizes certification of funds for previously awarded Whitson contract, R232424, for purchase of meals, total not to exceed $110,880. And 24933 for the Community Development Office, approval to pay confirming order to RICO for community development copier use, total not to exceed $188.28.
24934, approval to pay confirming order to APCO Institute for PST1 recertification for 1 dispatcher and 2 supervisors, total not to exceed $90. 24935, approval to pay confirming order to Frontline Public Safety Solutions for annual subscription for cloud-based software and daily observation reports, total not to exceed $2,523.94. 24936, approval to pay confirming order to Power DMS for annual subscription for Power DMS service and training, total not to exceed $8,792.67.
24-937 is approval to pay confirming orders to multiple parts and repair vendors, total not to exceed $42,810.51. 24-938 is authorizing a certification of funds for previously awarded contract to True Green. It's for our lawn fertilization services, total not to exceed $384.71. 24-939 is approval to pay confirming orders to Trap Rock for hot patch and to pumping service for the Greenbrook Flood Control Project, total not to exceed $15,491.04. 24-940 is approval to pay a confirming order to Herc Rentals for renting loaders, total not to exceed $22,824. 24-941 is authorizing certification of funds, a previously awarded contract to Continental Hardware for lumber and supplies, total not to exceed $1,000. 24-942 is authorizing a certification of funds for a previously awarded contract to Herc Rentals. This is for equipment and tool rental, total not to exceed $40,000. 24-943 is authorizing a certification of funds for previously awarded contracts to Clark Moynihan Landscaping. This is for our stormwater management facility maintenance, total not to exceed $50,000. 24-944 is amending Resolution R22-22. We're canceling a purchase order to Herc Rentals. This would be a cancellation of $42,236.92. 24-945 is approval to pay confirming orders to multiple parts and repair vendors for vehicle maintenance, total not to exceed $20,192.81. 24-946 is approval to pay confirming orders to multiple parts and repair vendors, total not to exceed $35,745.02. 24-947 is approval to pay confirming orders to National Fuel Oil for gasoline, total not to exceed $45,427.06. 24-948 is authorizing a certification of funds for previously awarded contracts for multiple parts, repair, and uniform vendors, total not to exceed $75,300. 24-949 is authorizing certification of funds for previously awarded contracts to National Fuel Oil and Fleet Data Systems. This is for diesel parts and repairs, total not to exceed $112,500. This is wonderful. Thank you.
So is there a motion to add above resolutions 24-900 through 24-949 to the consent agenda for May 14th? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary? Yes. Deputy Director Sui? Yes. Director Robinson?
Yes. Items to be added?
24862 is authorizing the execution of an encroachment agreement between Somerset County and Andrew and Crystal Fresco for Block 5913, Lot 7.01 in the Township of Bridgewater.
Resolution 24863, authorizing Somerset County to apply for and accept funding from the U.S. Department of Energy's Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program in an amount not to exceed $81,640, and that is for the replacement of the lights within 20 Grove Street with LED lights. 24-864, authorizing the signing of support documents related to the Somerset County Historical Society's submission of a 2024 Capital Preservation Grant application to the New Jersey Historic Trust for the Howe Farmstead. And 24-865 is authorizing the approval of a development agreement between Hillcrest Crossing LLC and the County of Somerset. Okay.
Resolution 24866 for Richard Hall authorizes application and approval of a contract between the New Jersey Department of Human Services, Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services, and Richard Hall Community Health and Wellness Center to provide reimbursement of services on a fee-for-service basis for uninsured clients when treatment is performed for the period July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2026.
24-867, authorizing the prosecutor's office to apply to the Bureau of Justice Assistance for the Smart Prosecution Innovative Prosecution Solutions Grant Program for a total grant request of up to $350,000 for the time period of October 1, 2024 to September 30, 2026, and to accept funding if awarded. Resolution 24-868, authorizing award of contract to Samuri LLC out of Magnolia, Delaware for 2 high-performance computers for the Computer Crimes Unit utilizing county contract number RFQ 0080-24, total not to exceed $24,516. Thank you.
Is there a motion to add resolutions 24862 through 24868 to the agenda for April 23rd, regular session?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary? Yes. Deputy Director Suey? Yes. Director Robinson?
Yes. We come to the public portion of our meeting. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, come forward. Name, 5 minutes. Name and address, 5 minutes. No yielding of time. No coming up a second time, but you will have an opportunity to speak again at our regular session immediately following this meeting at the public portion of the meeting. And we will entertain questions and comments from email as well as the telephone. Is there a motion to open to public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Yes.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Harry Boslog, Canal Road, Rickstown. I was just wondering if you're involved with any of them light bulb deals with the government. I heard Crooked Joe Biden down there, he's pushing the light bulbs. Are you involved with anything to change the light bulbs or anything here in the buildings?
So we just received a grant.
What's that?
We applied and are anticipated to receive $81,000 that was on today's.
Oh, how much money are we gonna save?
Well, it doesn't cost us anything to do it. I know what you're gonna say, but county taxpayer doesn't pay for it. Government, and the life expectancies of the light last much longer, and their usage on electricity is less.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanna say.
Thank you. Anyone else? Telephone calls and emails.
There is no one else.
All right, hearing none, seeing none, is there a motion to close the public portion of this meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. We will move right into our regular meeting. We have a few proclamations and some appointments. Okay, do we want to take a bio break? Let's give them an opportunity to come in. or Mike Ross? Shelley and Mike Ross. Right, are we missing anyone? So- Great. Are we good to go, Madam Clerk? Volunteer.
Proclamation for National Volunteer Week. Yeah, exactly.
So let's get our volunteers.
All right, let me get my mic back here. This is a great group. All right, so we're here to celebrate National Volunteer Week, and that runs from April 21st through the 27th of this month. And it really helps to support Rutgers Cooperative Extension, and it recognizes them as well. We have a proclamation. It reads, whereas Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Somerset County, a unit of New Jersey's Agriculture Experiment Station at Rutgers University, and a division within the Human Services Department at the county, provides research-based education and technical assistance on issues that affect people's lives in agriculture, the environment, in natural resource management, food safety, nutrition and health, and youth development. And whereas volunteers have been the cornerstone of Rutgers' successful programming, learning new outreach technology, and spending their time, talents, and extensive knowledge and experience to mentor our youth, identify invasive pests and weeds, advise on protecting land and water resources, and improve the health and enhance the overall quality of life for Somerset County residents. And whereas 372 volunteers are full and part-time workers, retirees, young adults, men and women of all ages and backgrounds, provided 114,418 hours of volunteer service in 2023, valued at an estimated of over $3,760,000. And whereas the 226 4-H volunteers met the needs of youth in person, hybrid, or virtually for club meetings, educational workshops, short-term programs, camps, and fun activities to continue to create the sense of belonging our youth needs, especially in the present climate. 4-H volunteers serve as club leaders, 4-H association members, 4-H fair managers, judges, mentors, trainers, educators, and more. And whereas the 146 Rutgers Master Gardener and Environmental Stewardship volunteers continue their successful programming, including online and in-person outreach to deliver assistance to residents with response on home lawn, garden, insect, and landscape questions via the Garden Helpline, and utilized e-newsletters and monthly webinars to remain engaged with the public, one another, and the overall program. And whereas Family and Community Health Science Service volunteers assisted at community classes and events and serve on the Advisory Council to promote healthy eating and food preparation. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Somerset County Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize, importantly, that April 21st through the 27th, 2024 is National Volunteer Week, and thanks all the volunteers who support the work of Rutgers Cooperative Extension. We encourage you to go to their website at somersetnjaes.rutgers.edu. And that's a great proclamation, I must say. Who wants to speak? I know you, Jim, you're here. Do you want to speak on behalf? Anybody? Come on. There we go. Let's go, Lisa.
I'm not even a volunteer, but Kate, why don't you come up with me, just so we can introduce you. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Rothenberger. I am one of the county 4-H agents, and with me is
Kate Brown. I'm the new County Agricultural and Natural Resource Agent.
And we are very, very thankful We have mouthfuls of names, but behind us are some of our wonderful Cooperative Extension volunteers, and we are really fortunate that they do give their times and talent to our community and to Somerset County, and we want to thank the commissioners for honoring us.
No, that's great. Thank
So-
you for all your service, absolutely. You want to say something? Come on.
Oh, no.
Come on. She was at our ag board
my.
meeting yesterday, so I want to say, I was going to put you on the spot.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, I've only been in this position since March 1st, but I've been with Cooperative Extension for the last 3 years, and I can definitely say that certainly our Master Gardener program is critical to the reach that we have in the community. We certainly work with our commercial farmers, but working with the community and everyone who has a garden is an important part of the work we do as well. And it's just a really dedicated group of volunteers who's currently all out in their gardens. So you can see how dedicated they are to that.
That's great. We're going to take a photo now, okay? Here's, do you want to hold this?
Can you see them behind me? Oh, wait, I can't be the only person in the front. I'm not that tall. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Is there anyone here for National Youth Apprenticeship Week?
That it's here another proclamation. Thank you. So we're here for National Youth Apprenticeship Week, whereas apprenticeship offers exciting, engaging, and lucrative workplace training for young people from ages 16 to 30 seeking a rewarding career, and whereas over the past decade, the number of active youth apprentices grew by 118%. In the United States, from about 120,000 to more than 262,000. Whereas employers, educators, labor unions, workforce professionals, and other stakeholders are launching registered apprenticeship programs throughout the country. Whereas the United States Department of Labor has declared the week of May 5th to the 11th to be the first ever Youth Apprenticeship Week, also known as YAW, as we love acronyms in government. Whereas Somerset County is committed to a strong local economy and supports both our business community and workforce with training, educational opportunities, and programs through agencies such as the Greater Raritan Workforce Development Board, shout out to Paul Grisella, the Somerset County VOTEC School, and Raritan Valley Community College. Whereas apprenticeship programs are a vital and proven pathway to support Somerset County's economic development and strategies. Whereas the GRWDB is hosting the first Youth Apprenticeship Week career event on May 6th at Raritan Valley Community College. Whereas employers from industries including advanced manufacturing, clean energy, healthcare, hospitality, pharmaceuticals, public service, utilities, telecommunications, and more will be attending the Youth Apprenticeship Week career event, looking forward for intelligent, talented, and committed young people to join the apprenticeship program. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Somerset County Board of County Commissioners do hereby recognize the week of May 5th to the 11th, 2024 as National Youth Apprenticeship Week and urge all residents to attend the May 6th YAW event and join in supporting and encouraging the expansion of successful apprenticeship programs. Thank you.
I'll be real brief, but this is a real important initiative for us. We are looking at how we can expand and use our current grant dollars to support more apprenticeship initiatives. For example, we're working with ShopRite in Hunterdon. Did you know that they need apprenticeships for meat cutters? And those apprenticeships take almost 2 years. So there are a lot of different ways that we can, innovative ways that we can use our dollars and encourage people in career pathways that we know will promote economic stability, keep people in Hunterdon and Somerset counties, and promote economic development. So I thank you very much for supporting us, the commissioners, and for your ongoing support for everything that we do. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thanks for holding.
All right, is there anyone from Safe and Sound? Oh, there you are. I was like, I couldn't see you. I'm literally being held together by tape, so get from above the knees of my beautiful blue tape. So this proclamation is recognizing Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month was officially established in April of 2001 by the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, and whereas this month calls attention to the to the fact that sexual violence is widespread among all genders and sexual orientations, impacting every person in every community. Over 50% of women, nearly 50% of transgender folks, and nearly a third of men experience sexual violence in their lifetimes. And whereas sexual violence may include harassment, assault, rape or attempted rape, pressure, force or guilt, non-consensual taking or sharing of sexual images, sexual abuse from an intimate partner or spouse, child sexual abuse, reproductive control, comments or actions targeting someone's gender or sexual orientation, and more. Whereas, and I'm not reading this in entirety, but whereas Safe and Sound Somerset is a community resource with free, confidential services for children, teens, and adults who experience or witness dating, domestic, or sexual violence. In 2023, Safe and Sound Somerset assisted 465 adults and children in Somerset County with survivor-centered counseling, assisted 638 survivors with legal education and support, provided 7,650 bed nights of emergency shelter, a 295% increase since 2019. They responded to 3,708 calls and texts to the helpline at 866-685-1122, a 112% increase since 2019, and provided 207 outreach and violence prevention programs to 6,400 students and community members, including the Ask Ava podcast for young people. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Somerset County Board of Commissioners recognize April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month and encourage all residents to join the campaign against the violence that occurs every day in the hope of reaching a time when no person knows the pain caused by sexual violence. So thank you to Safe and Sound Somerset for all that you do, all that you've done, and all that you continue to do. So here you go. Say a few words.
Thank you so much for this important recognition. Safe and Sound Somerset this year is recognizing Sexual Assault Awareness Month by spreading the message that we have actually expanded our sexual assault services to be able to provide clinical services to children under the ages of 12 who have experienced sexual violence so early. You can show your support to all survivors actually tomorrow by wearing denim and teal. Tomorrow is Denim Day, which is a worldwide recognition of supporting survivors. It's based after a judge overturned a rape conviction because the victim was wearing tight jeans, which he said implied consent. So I thank you for this recognition of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Urge you all to wear denim tomorrow to show your support to survivors and send the message that you believe everyone has the right to be safe and everyone has the right to say no.
Thank I'm just going to be very transparent and open since I'm presenting this. You never know what sexual violence or assault looks like. I am a domestic violence survivor. I wear a smile. I've survived, but there are so many others that did not make it. Male, female, teens, and children. So just because you may not personally experience it, you just never know who is going through what. And that's why we need to continue to do what we need to do for our neighbors and one another, and love will drive out hate. So thank you to Safe and Sound for all the work that you continue to do, and congratulations, and we will continue to support you and on this awareness and beyond. So thank you.
Next, we have National County Government Month, and I'm going to invite up Mike from.
It's the Human Services Group.
And Shelley from our Administrator's Office. Supposed to be excited.
Exactly.
All right, so National County Government Month is April, whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serving more than 330 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and prosperous communities. And whereas counties fulfill a vast range of responsibilities and deliver services that touch nearly every aspect of residents' lives. Whereas Somerset County takes pride in its responsibilities to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of its residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. Whereas during the 2024 County Government Month, under the leadership of the Somerset County Board of Commissioners, the county is highlighting the Human Services Department and the positive impact it has on residents with mental health and substance use disorders. And whereas, in response to the mental health crisis that is plaguing our nation, Somerset County has prioritized the support for mental health and/or substance use disorder recovery. And whereas, by increasing services at the Richard Hall Community Health and Wellness Center, expanding and providing free mental health services, employing a mental health service navigator, launching a mobile outreach van, and increasing grants to local nonprofits, it has made a significant impact on the health and well-being of county residents. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Somerset County Board of Commissioners recognizes April 2024 as National County Government Month and encourage all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to acknowledge the positive impact the county government has on its communities. And this doesn't even do it justice for what you guys do. And we smile and go to events throughout the county, and as the residents, we can't say how much we thank you and appreciate everything that you put in every day here. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Just a couple of comments. I am really gratified that this board, unlike many, has chosen to highlight human services for their county government month. I stayed in this county as long as I did because of the genuine support for human services programs. And the folks standing up here are really the folks who make it happen. Lisa Federico is our Addiction Services Director, and a whole lot more than that. Zach, our Planning Administrator, and the new Human Services Director-to-be. Damien Stackhouse, our Supervisor of our Community Police Alliance Program. Just terrific folks, and we thank you all so much for this. Shelley, do you want to say anything? No? You just hanging? Oh, we're good? All right.
And Shelley makes this all happen too, with all the tentacles we have as part of what makes Somerset County. She keeps everything flowing, so thank you.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, next we have a resolution recognizing National Telecommunicators Week. My 911 folks. This gives us an opportunity to recognize the work that the county's 911 center does, which provides vital 911 services throughout the county. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi, hello. All right, whereas emergencies requiring quick and knowledgeable responses from police, fire, emergency medical, and other first responders can happen at any time. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact citizens have as emergencies unfold, 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are calm, soothing voices for residents in often terrifying situations, and are vital to collecting information for first responders while ensuring residents in need can take steps to protect themselves and their loved ones. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police, officers, firefighters, and emergency medical personnel, monitoring and supporting their activities by radio, providing life-saving information to assist in response, and protecting the safety of first responders. And whereas Somerset County's 911 Communications Center staff are among the most professional, dedicated, and committed public safety telecommunicators anywhere. And whereas Somerset County's 911 Communications Center's dedication is shown daily, but never more than during Hurricane Ida, when they reported to work by boat through flooded streets, risking their own safety to protect first responders and residents in danger. And whereas Somerset County is proud to honor the work of all public safety telecommunicators and is grateful for the great work of our own 911 Communications Center staff. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Somerset County Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize the second week of April 2024 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the County of Somerset, and urge all citizens to join in applauding and thanking these dedicated professionals. Thank you.
Well, first, thank you, Commissioner. And these are just two faces of the many telecommunicators that answer the 911 calls to the residents and those beyond in a 911 emergency, and that's Barb and Mike. So thank you for taking the time to come on over here. As you said, Commissioner, this is the glue for the coordination of all emergency responders in an emergency, and the citizens are very, very lucky to have such a fine division here in Somerset County, and I thank you for all the work that you continue to do and that you do every single day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Now we move on to appointments. We have LGBTQ Plus Advisory Board, Resolution 24-861, Eaton Rose Torres, Borough of Bound Brook. A motion to approve Resolution 24861.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary? Yes. Deputy Director Sui? Yes. Director Robinson?
Yes. Approval of minutes for April 9th, 2024 meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary? Yes. Deputy Director Sui? Yes. Director Robinson?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt resolutions 24? Presentation? Okay. So at this time, Ms. Marr will do the county budget presentation that we're introducing this evening.
And so, good evening. Good evening, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce the 2024 Somerset County budget. I am pleased to do this tonight, but I actually first need to publicly thank the 1,200 county employees who work every day to ensure that all the residents of our 21 municipalities experience our exceptional county services. I also want to thank the department heads and the division heads who started to actually meet in December of 2023 with our finance team to craft a fiscally conservative budget that did not cut any services, but in fact expanded many that we'll talk about tonight, while keeping us in an exceptionally strong financial position that maximizes efficiencies. And personally, I want to personally thank our fabulous CFO, Yvonne Childress, who was unable to be here tonight with us, along with Melissa Kaczynski, who's the Assistant Director of Finance and Administrative Services, and Sam Zababa, the Director of Fiscal Operations, for their months of focused hard work to get us here tonight at a budget that I am actually proud to introduce to you and the residents. So, here we go. Again, I think it's always worth noting every year that we have a mission statement, and that mission statement is committed to excellence and innovation in public service, promoting the well-being of all of our residents by providing effective, efficient, and responsive leadership. And before we get into the introduction of the budget, it's important, because we just came off of the heels of the 2023 budget, to understand what that funded, and as we head into 2024, a lot of these have actually been expanded while also keeping us well under the 2% cap. So in human services, we are so proud of the focus that this board has put on actually meeting our residents where they are at. The launch of the HELPS mobile outreach van, the expansion of the Community Police Alliance program, which is the groundbreaking model for law enforcement, our community, and mental health services all being combined. Expanding Richard Hall, as you remember, to include the dental and the medical care in partnership with Sioux Fall. This expanded connection of mental health and one's physical health actually creates stronger, stable residents for us. And again, we have to always remember a very small but mighty team that works in our veteran services that brought in over $4 million of VA benefits to our residents. Thank you. As we moved on again at the end of last year, we were the first county to deploy electric community transit, annually reducing carbon emissions by over 30 metric tons and fuel and maintenance costs by $20,000 based on the first 3 vehicles. We've replaced 1,100 fluorescent bulbs with LEDs to support the county's sustainability policy, which reduces our energy usage. And with our vehicles, we were able to deliver 94,388 meals delivered to our seniors. That's in addition to close to 60,000 that we pull in out of our wellness centers. Engineering, as we finished the year, we carried over into this year. We completed the Main Street reconstruction project, which is one of the largest county projects in years. Our team reconstructed 8 bridges and substantially repaired 28, and we paved 20 miles of roads. Open space funding, as you know, the budget always includes a small piece of the open space funding, and the community should never lose sight of what I think the good stewards here sit at the county. So we ended the year preserving 5 tracts and 39 acres of open space, which included Washington's Lookout, 22 acres along the South Branch River. We preserved a 62-acre farm in Bedminster. We made progress moving through the municipal recreation projects that we had started. In Cultural and Heritage Commission, we spend over $1 million of giving grants out to those who really promote our culture, our diversity, and all of the great history that we have here. And just rounding out a couple of the highlights, under our safety and OEM, really proud that we relaunched after COVID and under new leadership, the emergency training courses of our fire, EMT, and our Citizens Employee Response Teams, our CERT. And under our health, we launched ad campaigns to promote positive health behaviors, including vaccinations. So I think it's always important, again, to just take a second to realize where we've been and now where we're going into 2024. Because where we're going in 24 showcases the essential roles and responsibilities that our county government plays in our residents. So as we kick off 2024, we understand that the economic health of the county is vitally important, and how the county's financial health goes, and there's what we can do here at the county to ensure that. So we will continue to expand in industry sectors that we know are strong here, our biofarm, our advanced manufacturing, our agricultural, and we will be actually being able to showcase our assets across the country because we know that people want to move here and expand here. We will continue our partnership with RVCC and the VOTEC and local businesses to expand workforce training, which we actually celebrated a little earlier. We will be relaunching our Wise Somerset campaign, which will be a dedicated website for corporate retention and workforce attraction. And we will continue to partner with Somerset County Business Partnership on what they are considering and calling their business hub, which will be actually located in downtown Somerville with a real eye on offering services to our mom and pop Main Street businesses, which is something really new and something that we encourage them to do, and we're really excited to see where that goes. We will continue to explore collaboration potential with our neighboring central Jersey counties, and we will be investing, as we've had for the last year, in how we're going to prepare to market and to capture the tourism dollars around the 250th anniversary. So we move on for 2024, engineering and planning. $87 million in state and federal projects are in the pipeline. We will continue to make sure that the money that we put into our local water and sewer projects, which are funded by the American Rescue Plan, get executed. We will be introducing a new circulation plan for the county. The last one was 2011, and that plan will focus on improving our mobility and the way we travel around this county. And then we will be a study will be funded by NJTPA to develop a plan to transition the county's fleet to electric vehicles. We talked earlier about the county park improvements and the recent ribbon cutting that was just had to introduce the expansion of our trails. We will be, we're under construction now to introduce a new horse barn at Lord Sterling Stable. We're very excited that this summer Warren Brook will have a brand new pool. And we will continue to make major infrastructure improvements at our golf courses, understanding how incredibly important keeping those courses up in pristine shape are. And again, we just came off of understanding that we need to expand what we do for our students, and the first new building in 17 years at the VOTEC. Open space and preservation. We knew what we did last year, and we actually are keeping our foot on the gas. And earlier this year, we talked about acquiring the largest open space tract in 2 decades. 400 acres in Hillsborough to expand the Sauerland Mountain Preserve. That's a game changer for the county, and it's a hats off to the commissioners for really understanding that golden opportunity that has actually we've been waiting for this particular moment. And then we are excited to be closing on the purchase of the 2-acre Battle of Bound Brook site, which includes the oldest stone arch bridge in New Jersey, and we're doing this in partnership with Middlesex County. One of the things that we will be talking a little bit more specifically on with Commissioner Singletary is food insecurity, or trying to actually say that we want people to be food secure. So in that vein, we have completely revamped our Curbing Hunger program to actually be a year-round program. That is an example of some of the food collection totes that will be in various places around the county. We're finalizing the map as we speak and where the food will be going. And we really are going to be committed to work with our farmers and our food banks to increase access to fresh local food for families in need. We think that is something very important that we need to be in the middle of that conversation. Human services, as we talked about them earlier, we will continue to be behind the expansion of the community policing initiative. We understand the stresses of our law enforcement local PDs with being able to attract officers, and so we will continue with another round this year of scholarships to add to the academy, and we will be working with our local PDs. That's a picture of one of the recent recruits in being put on the force. Our information technology department will be joining the New Jersey Homeland Security Cybersecurity Initiative. And we will be doing a complete redesign of the county's website to be more visual, more modern, and more focused on a resident-oriented experience. And then we have 3 great constitutional officers, and it's always important to understand what they contribute as well. So our county clerk, the first picture, shows the brand-new automated machinery that we bought. We are the first county in New Jersey to fully automate the vote-by-mail process, which saves costs while increasing reliability, to the point where the Postmaster General for New Jersey came and paid us a visit, which is why we have a picture up on top. Our county surrogate will offer credit card payments as an option for thousands of transactions starting in July. And our county sheriff will be doing a rollout of the Vital ID program to identify and protect our senior citizens, our children, and others with special needs, and will be expanding the Law Enforcement Against Drugs and Violence LEAD program in more schools to help children make positive choices. So we've got a lot of really good stuff to do, and this budget that we are now going to get into supports all of that. So we know that we start the year off with things that we know are fundamentals, and that is to maintain our AAA bond rating, which we did. So that right there is a clear indication to our residents that we have a strong fiscal house, that we fund all existing programs, so there were no reductions, there were no cuts, in fact, there were expansions, and that we maintain what we consider to be a healthy fund balance, which we will see in a few minutes grew by $5 million. That we need to fund all our statutory obligations, which are up there, and we need to make sure that we present a very well thought out budget funded by a sensible tax rate with no surprises for the taxpayer. Always important to understand where the tax dollar goes and where the county actually sits in the whole. So as you see this here, the majority of the tax dollars that goes to the public schools. So if you look at that as a dollar, 62 cents of a dollar goes to fund our public schools. We're up on the right-hand corner between the county and the open space. We're roughly 17 cents, 17%. And then you have the county library, and then you have the municipal portion, which we have no control over, and then you have the municipal open spaces. And as you can see, by what we've done with the open space, we've been very good stewards of how we spend that open space money. Also very important before we get into the numbers to sort of understand what we control and what we are obligated by. And as you can see, that our obligated costs, which are our insurances, whether they be health and liability and professional, our deferred charges, our public safety, our pension, our debt service, our constitutional obligations make up 68% of the budget. And the stuff that we can control, which is the salaries, Social Security, capital, and the operations of our county departments, are roughly 32%. Again, it's important to understand what drives a budget, and so this is a very high level about the top 4 things that we saw year over year that we wanted to bring here tonight. First is the insurance. It went up to about 7.5%, and that's a 15% of the whole. Our debt service went up about 10%. It was 10% of the whole, went up 4%. The debt service will drop off as it's on schedules, so in probably 2027, we'll see a drop-off of that debt service. Our pension obligations, as I mentioned earlier, went up, and the constitutional services went up, and we want to highlight this because this comes out every 4 years where there is a real spike in what we need to do for the presidential election. So the revenue, the money that we have coming in, again, this will show you, again, a balanced budget between the revenue and the appropriations. And on the revenue side, these are the things that I think are worth noting. Our local revenues changed about 9%, and that was as a result of some of the lower activity coming out of the county clerk's office. If we have the assumption of state costs, which again is the states that pass on direct expenses to us. Section E, when we say other special items, in 2022, we actually canceled outstanding bond ordinances that went back into the capital surplus. So think of it as a bump up in cash by $1.2 million that showed up in 2023. So we did not cancel any additional ones, which is why it went up 1 year, because we kind of swept in cash, but we did not do that again because we did it the year before. You will see here that the interest income went up 183%. And that is what we have. We collected an additional $3.7 million in 2023. So that raised what we could anticipate coming in this year up to $3.4 million. So we've already collected over $1 million in our interest income from where we keep our accounts. And so we see this really as such a strong indicator that, one, we have our money in the right places. Our shared services have remained relatively flat. It went up a little because with the addition of our Community Police Alliance coordinator contracts with Bound Brook and Bridgewater, we are now seeing some money coming in for that shared service. So FEMA, this is sort of the last remaining receipts from IDA. A few may trickle in for 2024, but we really don't really anticipate seeing any more. We talked about our pension. This is the pension reimbursement. This is specifically for the, the library, as we make the payment for the library and then we invoice them. And PERS, which they belong to, actually dropped slightly this year. And then the fund balance, again, that's our reserves, that's our surplus. And as you can see here, we increased our fund balance contribution by $200,000, and we felt comfortable with this after regenerating over $5 million of last year. So then we see an increase in the tax levy of 3%. This time last year, that increase in the tax levy was 4.4. So as we sit here today, we have a much smaller increase year over year. And then where do we spend our money? So the first line, I really want to, again, thank the county departments for really understanding our charge this year was to just really think really long and hard about what they're going to put on a piece of paper for us to put forth in our budget. You will see that the change for our county departments year over year basically only changed really less than 1%. So 0.71, and that is 45, almost 46% of the whole. So if you go back to what we can control of the pie, we were able to really hold the line without cutting services, reducing services, and in fact expanding. And that's a tip of the hat to the men and women who work here and run these departments. Our affiliated agencies, which include the medical examiner, the Board of Social Services, the VOTEC, RVCC, and the Park Commission, you will see that the change there is under 2%. The insurances, as we had spoken about, includes both the JIF and the HIF, property and health. You can see that went up. The state program costs, that's the maintenance of the residents who are patients in state facilities and supplemental Social Security income. And capital decreased from last year. Debt service here, we talked about, went up this year. And our deferred charges from 2000 and 21, you'll remember that $2 million was deferred each year due to the emergency appropriation of $10 million that we had to raise for IDA. And then the other line really is primarily driven up by Social Security. So Social Security went up by of the whole is 6.3 million. Contingency costs are 42,000, and matching funds, this is where we put our funds when we want to do a grant that requires a matching fund. That's about 120,000. So that'll show you that overall we are at 1.87 change in the expenditures. Here we are talking again about the surplus, and why do we need a healthy surplus? Because while things are always in good times, we know that there's a downward turn that could happen, and we need to always be well positioned to take care of our residents. And we are exceptionally well positioned, as you can see by the fund balance. We regenerated almost $29 million last year, which was just over $5 million more than utilized. So we are continuing to focus to build a healthy balance that will be able to be utilized to supplement the budget and operations as needed in future years and provide us with that critical buffer against unforeseen issues. And this is sort of what all of this gets wrapped up into, which is what most people want to see. Here you understand what actually makes up, or how we get to striking the tax rate and how we get to striking exactly what will be passed on to our residents. So it's important to look at 2023 and where we are in 2024. So the one thing that jumps off the page here for us is that the financial health of the county, which is the total net valuation that is assessed, went up over 7%. So $73,255,229.039 was in 2023, and as we sit here today, and that number was just certified like last week, Tuesday, we are now in 2024 at $78,464,516,316. So you can see the change, and that's a really, really good indication of what's happening here in Somerset County. So when we look at the budget of everything that I just walked through, the change from year over year is 1.87%, which is a little shy than $5 million, considering all of the pressures that we've had on us. And we look at, again, the average home value. So again, we see that living in Somerset County is really a great thing. The average home value last year was at $510,695. And as we sit here today, that average home went up close to $40,000 and now is worth $549,852. So that's a 7.67% increase. So we take those numbers and then we multiply to get into supporting the levy, what the levy will be to underwrite the cost of the budget. So we look at the home values, we look at the tax rate, and we look at the average home county tax, which will increase year over year $54.10. If we go to the next. And I thought this was just probably a nice place to leave this is that we think that living in Somerset is a really great investment. And as you see year over year, those who call Somerset County home or choose to invest in property or own a business here, we can see that has been on the uptick. And so we serve this as the introduction. We will now have some reading of some ordinances that will be introduced, and the second reading of this, which will also serve as the public hearing, will be May 14th, 2024 at 6 o'clock. If there's any questions?
Really more of a comment. This is probably the most, real-life version of presenting a budget. Most people, we just see the numbers and we don't really understand where everything goes. So thank you for putting all that effort in, because it is because of all the services and different facilities that we do have and offer at Somerset County that put us in a far better position. And us building up on these reserves, that is going to help us when we know the cycle repeats itself in the real estate market. So it's not always just going to keep going up. And we are here to make sure that when it does cool, we are prepared for it. And S&P, Moody's, just our credit raters, having that AAA bond rating, that is something that puts us, far apart from other counties. And we have been ranked as the #1 county in many different reports, and got that actually that same award this year. So thank you for all your work and for all the departments, because this is quite the task. So it's appreciated.
Well, I am just a representative of a very strong foundation that's here at the county. And again, I want to publicly thank these two off to my right who really have worked so exceptionally hard.
I want to thank Deputy Commissioner Sui as well for all your hard work on the Finance Committee. Terrific job.
And
Yeah,
Doug
Deputy
Singletary.
Director and Doug, and Commissioner Singletary on the Finance Committee. And I'd like to say thank you for all the hard work, for getting us to this point, as we continue to be, and I'd like to say peacock proud of the men and women that work for the county and the continued work that you do. As Deputy Director said, the AAA bond rating, keeping our taxes low, but the property value is going up. This is a great place to live, work, play, and visit, and it's evident in the work that the men and women of the county do. We're just the face of the governing body, but thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so the resolutions that will be introduced and adopted tonight with the budget introduction is Resolution 24-880, authorization to exceed the county budget appropriation cap limits, to establish a cap bank, and to set the public hearing, as Colleen mentioned, for Tuesday, May 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. 24-881 is authorizing the reading of the 2024 budget by title only. 24-882 is the authorization for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission certification. 24-883 is authorization for Somerset County to exceed the county entity budget request cap for the superintendent of elections. And 24-884 is authorizing Somerset County to exceed the county entity budget request cap for the Board of Elections.
It has been read for our hearing, 24-880 through 24-884. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Congratulations. This is the first step. This is just the introduction.
24-885 is introducing the 2024 Somerset County budget.
Is there a motion for 24-885?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Congratulations.
Harry raised his hand. Harry, the public hearing on the budget is for May 14th at 6 p.m. at the second
I
pub.
just want to make
No,
a
just hold on a
couple
sec.
comments
I-
about valuations on money and all.
I saw you raise your hand. I'm just making sure you
I
understood.
lost a lot of money in Somerset County, really.
That's what happens when I try to be nice, Harry.
I lose about 10% a year for the last 40 years.
All right, we have ordinance 24-799. An ordinance establishing the boundaries and rights of way of Bonnie Burn Road from US 22 northwesterly to Valley Road designated as Somerset County Road 695. Is there a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only, please give us your name, address, 5 minutes, no yielding of time, no coming up second time. It is only for this ordinance only. Hearing none? Oh, yes.
Our hearing is in, is this the
ordinance regarding the widening of Bonnie Burn Road?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Knowing that my opportunity would be limited as far as time tonight.
Can you please state your name and address?
Yes, my name is Bill Butler. I'm an attorney. I went to law firm of Butler and Butler of Westfield, New Jersey. I represent Weldon Materials, Inc., who for many, many years has owned and operated a quarry in Watchon on Bonnie Burn Road, which is the subject matter of tonight's resolution regarding an ordinance to declare this road an ancient road and therefore give it a right-of-way of 66 feet, which we oppose. We oppose tremendously. That part of Bonnie Burn Road that this resolution 24-799, deals with, covers all of our property on the north side of Bonnie Burn Road, which is about 8/10 of a mile. And the first thing I'd like to do is just point out in the resolution an error. The fourth resolution, which is part of this ordinance, states, whereas on October 10th, 2023, the Board of County Commissioners of Somerset County by resolution accepted control and jurisdiction of Bonnie Burn Road and designated the road as County Road 695. That's wrong. That's definitely wrong. This applicant across the street that's building a Mountain Laurel housing, and we're not objecting to Mountain Laurel housing, we are objecting to making the road unsafe. He applied to the DOT for a light. He applied it through the wrong county, applied it through Union County. And the Board of Commissioners, in denying the light and finding that the light would be dangerous, made some findings in her 32-page opinion, the DOT opinion, the commissioner. And on page 25, and then I'm going to go to the law regarding an ancient road, but here's what she says in response to the request for the light. Somerset County is the jurisdictional owner of Bonnie Burn Road. And there's no dispute. And Bonnie Burn Road has always been owned by Somerset County. And naturally, the road's in Somerset County. It goes back to 1927 when Runnels Hospital was a TB hospital. People were buying a TB at that time like people are dying of cancer now. And apparently Union County wasn't happy with how Bonnie Burn Road was being maintained. So they agreed to maintain. But Somerset County never gave up ownership and jurisdiction over the road. So I'd like to make that plain and clear. And it also appears on the bottom of 25 of her opinion and page 26. Now, let me talk about Bonnie Burn Road. Bonnie Burn Road has an existing right-of-way of 40 feet. It's 2 lanes. Each lane is 12 feet. And then there's a shoulder of 8 feet. If you add the 12 and 12 and the 18 and the 18, you get 40. And that's the extent of the right-of-way on Bonnie Burn Road. And before the Watchon Planning Board, and attached to the letter that Mr. Lott and I put together, dated April 17th, 2024, we attached the report of our surveyor, who's a licensed engineer and a licensed surveyor. And he states, and I'm just going to read quickly only part of his report, if I may. Here's what he says. His name is Albert Stewart, and he's from Stewart Surveying and Engineering, LLC. He says, I have also reviewed deeds for the properties along both sides of Bonnieburn Road and found no reference to a source document of a right-of-way or the designation of a width of a right-of-way. In my professional opinion, as a land surveyor, given the absence of any dedication within the above documents describing the width of the right-of-way of Somerset County, Somerset County's jurisdiction is limited to the traveled way or the edge of the pavement. Now, the developer across the street, in his present plan, which he calls an amendment to his site plan, the light is out. He comes up with a new plan. He gives Weldon, on the Weldon side, 1.4 feet, and on the south side, 1.4 feet. All right? Now,
Sir, I'm going to tee this up and defer to our county council. Your 5 minutes is up, but I'm going to defer to our county council.
Wind it down, please.
wind it down.
You hit your 5-minute limit, so if you
All
can
right.
close, that would be great.
Oh, okay. I thank you all for listening to me. It's hard for me to do anything in 5 minutes. And that's probably a fault that I have. But in order to find a road, what you're attempting to do is, by this ordinance, is declare that this Bonnieburn Road is an ancient road. And there's no proof. The burden of proof is on this board, on these commissioners, on this county, to determine that it is a ancient road. And they haven't done that. They have done nothing. And I'd like to briefly read, if I may, parts of Parsippany versus Bowman. This is a Supreme Court case. There aren't a lot of cases on ancient roads. This case is found at 3 New Jersey at 197, and I'm going to read briefly from page 102 and 103, briefly, okay? It says, in reference from the plaintiff's advantage that Berwick Road was in existence prior to the passage of the 1760 Act of the Colonial Legislature, while entirely permissible, is not conclusive. So even if you had before the Revolution, a statute that says that this was a colonial road, which we haven't seen, and maybe Mr. DeMarco is going to produce it tonight, or he's going to produce it sometime, because he hasn't produced it yet. It's not conclusive. The evidence did not have sufficient clarity to warrant the trial court to foreclose the jury from passing upon and determine the factual questions. And then he goes on, and I'm not going to read it because my time is limited. And I know you're busy. And I've been listening, and I'm sort of pleasantly surprised at all the work that goes on in here. And I have to come in with something that's controversial. But I'm a lawyer, and that's what I do for a living. But
Anything else, Mr. Butler?
yeah. What I'd like to do is, I'd like to mark into evidence.
There is no evidence to be marked in. If it is a copy of a letter, you can hand it to the clerk, and she incorporates it into the minutes. It's not a trial. It's not a Q&A. It's a public hearing on an ordinance. That's
Is
what
it part of the record?
You can submit it to the clerk, who will acknowledge it in the minutes. It's not, again, this is not a trial. It's a public hearing on an ordinance.
Well, there could be further proceedings.
That's the building across the street with the pretty little statue on top of Lady Justice. I'm sure I will see you
It's a
there.
lovely courthouse.
I'm sure I will see you there next month, sir.
Oh, I think you'll see me there more than just.
So
more than
you can
next
hand
month.
it in.
So, Joe, what are you telling me to do?
I'm telling you to hand it to Miss
Okay,
Major.
she has a copy. I've sent her a
Then
copy.
you
I
don't
sent her
need to do
before.
anything.
I'm going to give it to her.
Okay.
Okay.
And we will state on the record for your benefit that you handed a copy.
Now, let me
of
ask you
your
a
letter.
question.
This is not a Q&A, sir.
When is the board going to adopt or not adopt the resolution?
It's an ordinance, and that's on for public hearing tonight. It was introduced, And even though I was not required, I sent a copy of that ordinance to every property owner by certified mail to put them on notice of this ordinance. I also sent you an email directly because I knew you would be interested in it.
I
It is on-
appreciate that.
Not a
And
problem,
Weldon
sir.
appreciates your notice.
Not a problem, sir. It's
And
on
I got it
for,
from Weldon.
it's on for a public hearing, which is what you have just done. At the close of the public hearing, this board will vote on it
Now?
tonight.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Not
And
a
thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Butler.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, which was a beautiful
No
meeting.
interruption. You're listed on the agenda.
It's
That's
on
what we
the-
do.
Yeah, no interruption.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Just,
Is there anyone else from the public wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only? Come forward, name and address, 5 minutes, no yielding of time.
Matthew Manos, 69 Bonnie Burn Road. I want to thank this guy for asking a lot of questions I don't have to ask now. I don't really have a comment, but as a homeowner on this road, how can I get information about how it can impact my property? That's my first question.
Correct.
I don't know how else to go about that. I
Yep,
just got the
so-
notice. Thank you for sending it.
no, not a problem. That's one of the reasons why I did it. I didn't want anyone to think we were doing it in secret. So what'll happen, depending on what the board does, if they adopt it, you would get a second letter from us, which would have the schedule and things of that nature. And essentially, the road is 40 feet wide.
12, 12, and 18, got it.
Correct. What we are asserting is that the county has a right to a 66-foot wide road. That's just a right-of-way. We are not widening the road. There is no plan to widen the road.
It's for sewers and
It establishes our ability to go in and put drainage, trim trees if they're obstructing traffic, things of that nature. It establishes a buffer right-of-way
Yeah.
that traditionally exists on every county road.
Gotcha.
That's the purpose of it.
So this resolution is simply to change the, he's saying it's always been Somerset County, but the maintenance is going from Union to Somerset? Or, we don't, that's debatable. But
Not a problem. So for years, both counties operated under the belief that Somerset County, the road was in our jurisdiction.
Right.
Within the boundaries of Somerset County, but the total control of that road lies with Union County.
Right.
And in the past, there have been other issues raised, and Union County only dealt with it. In this instance, that belief by Somerset and Union County was challenged. It then
by
went.
Weldon? Yeah.
Doesn't matter who challenges it, right? It went and got challenged, and the department, NJDOT commissioner, came back and said, no, there's a maintenance jurisdiction,
Right.
which was Union County, plowing, paving, repairing, and there's an actual control jurisdiction. And until that point in time, the counties operated differently. So last year, the commissioner ruled a different way, advised us that we had ultimate control. Union County then said, we don't really have a hospital there anymore. We want to give you the road back. We said, hold on. We talked, wanted to make sure the road was in the right condition. We accepted the road back in October, renamed it, because it used to be a Union County
527,
road,
yeah, I think.
and we renamed it Somerset County 695. We then, because we have never done it before, wanted to establish the boundaries of the road. We did some research through the engineering department, and we determined
Standard right-of-way is 60.
on the engineering that this road has been in existence for a very, very long time, i.e. pre-colonial days, prior to the establishment of the United States. Under that doctrine, it's considered an ancient road. And under an ancient road doctrine, it is presumed to have a 66-foot right-of-way. So we, by ordinance, are saying, we believe it's an ancient road.
Yeah,
If you disagree, courthouse next door.
right.
Mr. Weldon will be there. You'll get an invite if you want. And that's where that issue will be. But we believe, based upon the studies and the reports done by our engineering department, and we didn't do that. We never undertook that study until we established and called it a county road in October.
Makes sense. This resolution is simply to change it to Somerset officially.
Change it to Somerset and establish its boundaries. based upon a doctrine.
Thank you for the explanation. So any comments I would have would be to consider the property owners. Okay, that's a very disconnected part of the town of Watchung and of the county. And it's very close to Scotch Plains, so there could be a connection there. But anybody who lives on those streets can't access that. So if there were ever to be an expansion that includes pedestrian right-of-way would be well considered because it's a quality of life issue.
Yeah,
Talking about,
and the geography of the road is such that the areas we're talking about are not pristine front lawns.
Yeah.
They are, the road is one side higher than the other, lower, right? So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
It's really, again, to establish the boundaries so everyone knows what's what. That's the
Okay.
purpose of the ordinance.
And then as a homeowner, how can I keep myself abreast of everything and?
Which is the reason why I sent you the notice.
Okay.
Right, and then if and when this gets adopted tonight, you'll get an official copy stamped of
If you're gonna
that.
take half my lawn to make a road, you're gonna.
No. Well, there's a whole right-of-way access, we do it
They already
all
did
the-
that to my property once, but it was before I owned it.
Yeah, we do that all the time, if we have to enter it, or deal with, there's a whole process that we have to go through.
All right.
We don't just show up one day and
Yeah.
put
Okay.
things there.
So that's it. Appreciate it.
Not a
Thank
problem,
you.
sir. I'm glad you got the notice.
Yep, thank you.
Now we move on to a motion to adopt ordinance 24799. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Move on to our,
Just for the public awareness, the motion to adopt passed, it was 4-0. The ordinance has now been in effect. It will then get published in accordance with law and will take effect under that provision. Sorry.
thank you. Is there a motion to approve resolutions 24-800 through 24-814?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Is there a motion to approve resolutions 24-815 through 24-830?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Is there a motion to approve resolutions 24-831 through 24-860?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Was 861 skipped? Because it jumps to 862. I just want to, for the record.
861 was your appointment resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve resolutions 24-862 through 24-868?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Drake?
Yes.
Commissioner Singletary?
Yes.
Deputy Director Sui?
Yes.
Director Robinson?
Yes. Now we come to the public portion of this regular session meeting. 5 minutes, no yielding of time, no coming up a second time. Is there a motion to open to public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Ayes have it. Anyone in the public wishing to speak, come forward, name and address, and that's on any topic. Anything through email or telephone? None. Right. Hearing none, seeing none, is there a motion to close the public portion of this meeting?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Ayes have it. No executive session tonight? So, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good night and be well.